Hello, everyone. Welcome to our team training today. And today we've got a bunch of us on live via Zoom and in streaming into our Team Nailed It Facebook group to talk to you guys about some of our favorite conference takeaways. My voice is a little deeper and raspier because of all the dance party yelling I was doing. And I don't have any makeup on because my luggage is still at the airport. They're bringing it to me today. We're way tired. We're all a little tired, but we're also fired up about all the things that we heard at conference and the trainings that we got. And so I can't wait to hear some of your takeaways for those of you that came. So first of all, let me see, for those of you that are on, who raise your hand if you went. I just want to see who all went that's showing their face here. Yay. Yeah, it was so much fun. So I would love to hear some of your favorite takeaways, some of the things you're most excited about. I don't want to do all the talking. So who would like to go first? Who's the most fired up? Let me see who's the most fired up.
I'm not the most fired up probably, but I am the most talkative. So if you need me to go first.
Do it, Erin. Break the ice.
Well, what I can say for conference that it's something that cannot be duplicated. If you aren't able to go in person, there's no way to duplicate the energy and the excitement and the way that you feel when you're at conference and when you are in person with all of those people. So I have to say that one of my favorite parts about conference is the ability to connect with both past stylists and with new stylists. I had several of my own personally enrolled girls who were there for the very first time. And that feeling of watching them excitement, watching them get a little overwhelmed, watching them hear all the new things that are coming their way is something as a leader that just I absolutely adore. So I love that aspect of conference, and there's just always so many things that they feed into you. And I will say it can be quite overwhelming because there is so much, but being able to come back and just be like, okay, I'm going to take little bite-sized pieces. I'm going to look at what I need for my business right now, and I'm going to focus on those things first. But I would just say the best, take a look at all those emails that came out every single night while we were at conference, and kind of look through those and set yourself, what did they call the goals? Do you remember?
North Star goals? Is that it?
North Star goals. Yeah. So what are your North Star goals? What is your big goal that you're working towards? And then break it down into bite-sized pieces, and make sure that you're connecting, even if you couldn't be there, make sure you're connecting with your enroller and your upline and your sideline sisters and downline people. Because just connection is what I really got from this. Like, if we can get back to connecting again, working together, this is about teamwork, that it's going to change the trajectory, which is a word that some people hate, the trajectory of our business. So get back to connecting, refocus on your North Star goal, and let's get after it. That's what I got out of conference.
Yes. I love it. That was a big part of it for me, is just like the connection piece, like meeting so many people from the team. My heart was exploding when we took our team picture.
Right.
I would got the chills just seeing like so many of you in person, all in the same room. It was like, I'm so proud of you all. I'm getting chills right now. It was really cool to meet so many people. And then for me, just to get re-energized for the next 6 months, to step up my game a little more and try a little harder. And then I think one thing that I love is just getting little tips from other stylists. I was like, ooh, that's a good idea. I got a tip that, you guys saw me go live to the team and talk about the fall bass bag or what, I can't remember. I'm so tired.
Anyway, bundle bag or something.
The fall bag, swag bag. Anyway, grab. Thanks. It takes a village, guys.
We're getting there.
we tied the fall grab bag, and then I did that in my VIP group, and I've already sold like 8. And then just like I tried, there were a couple other tips that some of the other stylists did, and I've already had really good results from that. So I actually have that as a training next week. I was like, girl, you need to teach this to the whole team. So get excited for next week, because that was really good. And so, yeah, sometimes just even not even the trainings they provide, which also were amazing, but some of the little stuff you get here and there from other stylists is like incredible. Okay, who else wants to go? I'm going to give each of you about like 60 seconds to talk, because I want to hear from. Okay, go.
I want to go. I have to jump off for another call, so I want to go first. Okay, so I really love all the connection things Erin said, but what I really loved about conference specifically and what home office provided this year, because we've gone to all of them except for last year. And what I loved was that they not only touched on enrollment, but they really focused on the tools for us to help us with onboarding. So like the 13-day emails that are going out, or however often those are going, that they're starting, and the enroller checklist, I am super excited to teach.
Yes.
So because I know that like onboarding is a really tough thing right now that I feel like everybody's trying to revamp and re-onboard essentially. So I loved all of that. And then of course the dance party is my favorite part.
Of course.
That's my favorite part of conference every time. So, but as far as like actual stuff we got from it, that would have been probably my favorite thing.
Heck yes. I was pumped about that. Can't wait to get that. Thank you. Who's next? In fact, why don't you guys write in the comments? We'll just go in order of the comments. So why don't you just say like, I want to go next. I want to go next. And I'll just do it based on comments. So
Kelly, next. Hi.
Okay, go ahead, Candy. You have 1 minute.
Hi. So this was my very first conference. I'm new, and I just was very overwhelmed. There was so much information that I got to help build my business. And I didn't get to go to the dance party because I was sick and sore and hurting. So I stayed in the room, but I still had an amazing time. I learned a lot. And the one thing that I got out of it is just connect. I connected with new people, obviously, because I'm new. So getting information from them, it really helped me out a lot. And I really like the idea as well as the enrollment checklist. That's going to help me a whole lot. So
yeah,
I had a fun experience, and I can't wait till next year.
I know. Yes. Salt Lake. Anyone that came for the first time was like, oh, I'll be back. Like, because it's a game changer, right?
Yes. Very much.
I'm so glad you're able to go, Candy. Thank you for sharing. Okay. We have Lindsay Coco up next. Girl, go ahead.
Hey, everyone. Can you hear me? I just had to unmute.
Yes.
So I have not missed any conferences, and I will never miss a conference ever. Being there in person, it is completely unmatched. The energy and the fire that you get from being around your teammates and your sideline sisters is just incredible. And I think for me, I have kind of gotten into a little bit of a rut with like partying, and I'm trying to get back into it. And I really feel that conference helped to kind of re-energize me there. But I'm also feeling a little bit, I'm a lot more excited now about the makeup that is coming, because I think home office did such a great job of gifting us some free samples and allowing us to actually feel it and understand the products. And even though I was totally dreading sharing makeup with my customers and my future customers, I'm really excited about it now. And I think it's an opportunity for a lot of us to revamp our businesses and to like reignite them, and also a great opportunity for us to bring in new people who will see this as an awesome business opportunity. So I think it's just kind of the beginning of something really, really huge.
Yes, I am. So who else is stoked for makeup? Raise your hand. I'm so stoked. The minute they ever mentioned that, I'm so stoked. But now that I've tried it and they gave us samples and we saw the packaging, and I'm even more pumped about it. And I do think, I'll be honest, like I haven't gone live in a while, and I was like, I can't wait for makeup to come out, because I know I'm going to go live a lot more. And so it is going to be like kind of add a new element, a new spark to our business. So thanks for sharing that, Lindsay. Who else would like to go? I want to hear from as many of you as possible in this 30-minute chunk. Don't be shy. Okay, Christy, go ahead.
I just wanted to piggyback on the first time experience thing. This was conference number 4 for me, 3 in person, 1 remote, but I had several people on my team that went for the first time. And for me, I got so much joy just watching it through their eyes and just watching them and how they consumed conference. Because I remember being that stylist back in 2019 at my first conference, and just to see the way it lights people up and then talk to them about their experience and their takeaways afterwards, it resonates through the whole team. So all the way up to me. So I feel like it makes me want to be a better leader because I see the excitement and that it brought to the people who are newer and first time experience.
Yes. Doesn't it kind of remind you of like how when you see your kids experience something for the
Yes.
first time that brought you joy, when you were younger, and you're like, oh my gosh, like now it's the same kind of feel. And it's really just like joyful is the word,
Yeah.
just fun.
Heartwarming, Mama Bear.
I know, right? It is. It's heartwarming. So I loved that as well. Thanks for sharing. Okay, Brooke, you're next.
I have so many things I'm excited about. I can't even decide what to talk on first, but I'll go for it. I did a huge brain dump on the ride home and have like a massive to-do list, which helped me fight and conquer the overwhelmness. I'm so excited that we are opening up to so many different demographics. Not only are we opening up to younger people with LSU, or I say LSU nails, go Tigers, but and there's so many ideas that you can go with that. And I love the sharing that everybody's already been doing on your page. But I'm also excited for the girls that are diehard salon girls. We're going to be able to still tap into that with the makeup line. And the makeup, I mean, it was so much different than what I've expected.
Yeah.
And let me just say, for the girls that did not get a chance to go, even if you don't love a color at first, give it a try anyway, because like when I first got mine, I was like, ooh, this is kind of dark. But once you put it on, it looks different on everybody, and it almost changes up to your,
it does.
It's
I
bizarre.
was with Brooke and she tried on a color, and so did Jamie Lambin. And at first, like I literally said to Jamie was like, I don't know if I like this color. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if that's the right color for you. And then like 5 minutes later, I was like, what? Like it kind of like blends with your body chemistry, and it looked better on her. And then she wore it after that, like the next day. And same with you, Brooke. And I was like, dang, that looks good.
Yes.
So yeah, what else? I know you have more, just one more too.
Oh, I'm all excited about the Germany thing as well. And did you notice where they said
Yes.
in other European areas or something like that? So
Right.
I'm thinking maybe they just haven't secured them yet. So like, I'm super pumped about that. And I love that we have such a long time period so that we can start friending people and looking out and getting those contacts from our friends that may have contacts there. So I'm already getting on that too.
Heck yes, girl. Oh, and you need to share, Brooke, share your little tip about finding friends in the college towns.
Oh, so like if you are, let's just say you're up north and you have no idea about us rednecks down south, put friends in Alabama, for example, in the search bar, just like we did for Canada, where you could put friends in Canada, you could do friends in Alabama, friends in Tennessee, whatever the case. And then I saw someone else on your page talk about like, if you liked a certain like LSU, like the official page, you can also click on that and see your other friends that like those as well. And that way you're able to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a good tip. Such a good tip. And one thing I did in my VIP group was just like, hey, tell me your favorite. And I got this idea from someone else. I don't know. A lot of people did this, but I just said, hey, tell me your favorite like college football team, and people commented with their favorite team in my VIP group. And so when they go live, I'm going to personally message them and say, hey, this one's available now. So another fun little tip. Okay. Tiffany, were you next? Go ahead.
Good morning or afternoon now. So my big takeaway from conference this year was to focus more on follow-up. So that's going to be my personal focus for the next conference year. I was really impacted by Brittany Metke's training when she talked about she touches people probably 5 times before they officially say yes. So I loved that, and I want to be more intentional about tracking because I don't tracking to follow up. So I'm focusing on that. And then the big tip that was so simple and small, but I actually tried it after I got back and it's worked like amazingly. It was an Instagram that I got from the Gen Z training session. And they talked you do a reel to share it, like have like a little group of people that you share your own reels with. And so I did, and it really wasn't intentional, but I created a reel and I tagged a bunch of friends in it that were in it. And then I shared it with them so they would see it. And the visibility was through the roof, like instantly. So it was a fun, your own reels.
Yes. Love that. Are you wearing the lipstick, by the way?
I am wearing,
it looks good on you, Tiffany. Starlet.
Thanks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, so let's see. I think we have Laura next.
Okay. Hey. Our kids start school tomorrow. Can you hear me? Am I unmuted?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Just checking. I can hardly hear my own voice. So, my kids' first day of school tomorrow, so we're at the pool. So one of my takeaways was, so when I'm not a makeup, I wear makeup most days, but I'm not really like creative with makeup, I guess. I just have my routine and I stick to it and I like it. And I don't see myself changing that a whole lot. But when I got Starlet, the same color that Tiffany got, it's like bright red. And I was like, for someone who doesn't wear lipstick, I don't know if this is the place to start. But that's what I was given. So I put it on and kind of forgot it was on, but I would have people stop me all the time to say stuff. And by the end of the night, I had this confidence and it was just so fun and every time I went to take a selfie, I'd be like, whoa, there's my lips. And by the end of the night, it was fun. And I had this realization that like, there's a lot of things we say we don't do. And one of the other things is that I don't really do college sports either. I don't really do sports at all. And I just had this realization that like, just because I don't do it doesn't mean I wouldn't enjoy trying to do it. And I think that doesn't mean that if you try it, you're going to like it, but why not just try it? And I, with the nails, the college nails, I was like, well, it's easy to sell something I don't necessarily like use. I can use other people's graphics and I can still reach to people that like college sports. But like, what if I would like college sports? Like maybe that would bring some joy to my life. Like maybe I mean, if all these other people have so much fun with it, maybe it is something I should try. So it just kind of reminded me that to not just assume I'm not going to be into something.
Yes.
And it's okay if you're not, but it's worth a shot. So
yes.
And who doesn't love a good tailgate party, Laura?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Where it's like, maybe I don't like watching it on TV with my husband, but I would love going to a game and tailgating. Like, you never know, like that could be totally something I'd be into. And so it kind of opened up my mind to just being more willing to do stuff I don't do. So I'm excited for that. I had a lot of other takeaways, but that was one that came to mind right now. So
that's a really good one, Laura. And Laura looked bomb in that red lipstick. I was like, I cannot get over it. I like it just really, I don't, there was
blushing all night because people would say some stuff and I'd just be like, I don't know what to say. But this,
I mean, you just look good in red, and even your swimsuit or tank, whatever you're wearing, looks amazing. So like, but yeah, I really loved that takeaway you just shared, because we do have to, we
kind of put ourselves in boxes and we can get out of our boxes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Laura. That was fabulous. Yep. Okay. Who else would like to go? We have like 10 minutes left. And I want to hear from as many of you as possible. So unmute your mic or comment in the chat so we can hear, so I can call on you. Katie Olson, I see you. I'm going to start calling you out if you.
I was trying to find some notes, so I actually brought up something that somebody else hasn't talked about, but here, I have terrible light there.
There we go.
But the first thing I was going to just say, which isn't really, I was going to share some tips as well, because I think it's always cool to hear, even after all this time, for us to hear new ideas and new things from other stylists. And hopefully those tips will continue, to roll out over the next week and such. But one of the biggest things that's just, I think, crazy for me, I'm getting goosebumps right now, is seeing teammates that, I have met over our little team Zooms, and that I feel like I've gotten to know. And then when you see them in person, you realize you really haven't ever met them in person, but you feel like you know them.
True.
And you realize oh my gosh, you're so much smaller than I thought, or so much taller, or so much, and you realize you really have never seen them. And it just kind of completes this circle of okay, now we really do know each other. And next time, we talk, there's going to be that added connection. And I just, every time that we have a conference and a teammate shows up at my door and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know. It's just, it is something else to be able to see people.
Yeah. So true. Someone came up to me and they were like, oh my gosh, you're a real person. You're outside of my screen,
And that's the other thing, right? We are all just real people. And so it really does give that extra personal touch where,
I totally agree. I'll tell you, one of my takeaways was seeing everyone in person and hearing their feedback, just about maybe the impact that I have had. It was really telling to me that because sometimes, we're on social media and we get a heart or a comment, but we're, it just doesn't, it's not the same as hearing someone say it in person and stuff. And it's easy to get kind of burnt out on posting on social media, right? And you're like, is anyone even listening? Am I helping anyone? Or is it just my mom that's seeing my posts, right? But in seeing everyone in person and getting, having them comment on oh, I really appreciated this post or that training you did. It was it just made me realize that we have more impact than we think, and that more people are seeing our posts than we think. And I think that applies to you guys too. I've had people comment on posts I've done in the grocery store, local, that I was wait, I didn't even know you followed me, or, I didn't know that you saw that post because you didn't comment or or whatever. So I really want to just remind you guys that we have a lot more impact and influence, and that people are seeing our posts more than we think. Even if we're not getting that validation, even if you're alone in your office, doing this post and you're I don't know if anyone saw that, they did. And that they are seeing that. They are watching you and learning from you. And so you do have influence, and to remember that. And that gave me an extra boost, because honestly, I was kind of annoyed by Instagram. I'm Instagram. But now I'm okay, I'm gonna keep going,
I've had that happen to, people that I don't talk to, on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. Maybe I haven't even seen them or talked to them since conference last time. They're like, I've just loved watching your life in the islands. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And it is eye-opening of how many people really are watching what we're doing.
Yes. And congratulations, by the way, Katie, for getting top in sales in the US territory.
Whatever it is, whatever that category is.
Whatever that. I was so proud of all the ladies that were on stage that were from our team. That was really makes me one proud mama bear.
And
and for our entire team for getting number 2 in team sales, congratulations, everyone. That was just me representing you guys. So proud of you all.
I'll share I'll share really quick just a quote that I wrote down about recruiting,
Mm-hmm.
because I think one of the things that I really loved is that I feel like we got more like solid tips about recruiting this round, and like really
Mhm.
a lot of times there's a lot of mindset stuff, and that's always great, but sometimes we walk away going, okay, give us the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember who said this, but one of the quotes was, doesn't everyone deserve to make their own decision on if this is the right opportunity for them and the right time for them? Don't be afraid to ask.
Boom.
So yeah,
Boom. That was a good one. Yes.
if we
I
all
love
keep that in mind all the time. it'll be good.
That was
Mhm.
Amanda Simon, in case you guys want to watch the Amanda Simon training on replay.
There you go. Thank
Yes,
you, Adrienne.
because she's been like topping and rolling for years. So she's a good one to listen to. One of my favorite quotes, I'm just gonna share I posted it on my wall, but I'm gonna share it again, was I'm trying to find it. Oh, those who want to go up, show up. And I don't think that applies just to conference. I really believe it applies to working your business. You show up, you get your butt in that seat of your office chair or wherever, you show up, you do the work, you do your 3 Ps, you do the parties, you follow up, and that's how you're going to grow up. It is that simple. Like, it is that simple, but you got to do the work. And I think sometimes we forget that we need to show up. We get so busy with life that like we forget we need to show up. And honestly, one of the things that I was talking to some ladies about, I was like, I really wish I could emphasize how important it is to new stylists and to everyone to like have some work hours, because if you have set work hours, and yes, they're not going to be perfect every day, but if you have some set work hours that you're like, I know that from, maybe 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., I do my power hour, or I do, my follow-ups or whatever, then you can be consistent. It's kind of like having I try to have my workout time be every day from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. so that it's like, that's when I work out. And so you just know, and that's when you do it. Otherwise, sometimes just waiting for like the motivation or for the, the free time doesn't always happen. So that's something I would love to shout from the rooftop, something that has really helped me, because listen, you are the CEO of your own business. So act like one. CEOs don't just wait for motivation. They don't wait to do it when they have some spare time. Like, they make time, they set those work hours, and they show up for those.
I just want
Right.
to check on that, Kelly, really quick, and
Yeah,
just
please.
congratulate all of the stylists who came for the first time, or they've been they're a brand new stylist, or they've been a stylist for a few years and they've never been to a conference, and this is the one that they finally said yes to, because this was the easy one to say no to, considering the state of everything. And I just am so proud of those stylists that really, even brand new stylists that made it happen. And
Yeah.
I just think that is awesome, and congratulations for coming. We hope to see you.
Yes. Amen. It's a game changer for your business. I am going to read the quote that I shared on my wall on one of my whys for coming to conference. And it said, I'm just going to read this to you. My very first year of Color Street, money was very tight. We didn't really have the money for me to fly out. We didn't have the extra budget for me to stay in a hotel, but I went anyways, because I read in the book, in Eric Worre's Go For No. I read that book, which is a great book to read, by the way, very quick and easy. And Eric Worre, the author, shared a story that stuck with me. He said, when I first started in network marketing, I didn't think I could go to all these events everywhere around the country. I didn't have the money, the time or resources. But as I was at one of these events, I found myself standing to one of the top income earners in the whole company. When I asked him what his secret was, he told me something that I will never forget. He said, Eric, do you see this room? It holds about 2,000 people. At the next event, half of these people won't come back, but the half that does will be making about twice the average of everyone else in the room. Your job is to be in the 1,000 people who come back, and it doesn't stop there. At the next event, half of those 1,000 won't come back, but the 500 who do will be making 4 times have to show you my nails, 4 times the amount of the average in the room. This continues from event to event. If you continue to come back, you'll end up being among the highest paid people in the room, and eventually you'll even find yourself presenting on stage. So I just loved that quote, because I think that goes back to that quote I shared. It's about showing up. And that's something my upline in my previous direct sales or MLM, she shared with me. I was like, what's your best tip? And she was like, show up at conferences, show up at regional events, show up at, watch the trainings, show up and do the work, just show up. And I think that's really, really good advice. So we're going to end on that, because I don't want this to go too long, but I've loved all that you guys shared. It was so wonderful to see you all. And I really, really hope that you'll join us in Salt Lake next year. It's going to be freaking amazing. What were the exact dates? Was it July 21st through the
21st to the 23rd?
3rd. So put it on your calendar, make it happen. I was telling all the girls, I'm like, put it on your calendar right now. Same with Bahamas. I'm like, put it on your calendar. You're going. Like, you're going. What?
You mean Jamaica?
Jamaica, my bad. Thanks. Erin's got me. One of those tropical vacations. If you want it bad enough, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. So let's make it happen. I want to see as many of you as possible at Jamaica and at Salt Lake City next year at conference. So
The
thanks.
biggest holiday weekend there. So if you want to stay an extra day for an amazing parade, it'll be happening downtown Salt Lake the morning of the 24th. So just giving you more reasons to party.
That's right. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining, and thanks for all of you who came to conference, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.